What's up guys? I'm back again with another simple tutorial on how to make a boss room slash boss fighting sequence. Um, the devices that you might use or you might need is a berry device, which has block weapon fire, collide with camera, uh, shrink to allow building is off, invisible to ignored players is a big one. We're gonna make sure it's checked, and then we're gonna have a you can either link it to a round settings device to where it won't on round start you're automatically ignored, or you can have it linked to each individual spawner. That way each player that spawns in on the spawner gets registered as the ignored list. Pretty much when they pass through it, we're going to trigger the volume device that I have in the room, and once on enter, of course, it's going to register them as they're unignored. And then this is going to reappear, and it's going to block them in and lock them in this room. Uh, Basically, I trigger it using timers, and this might be more complex than most. It might have an easier route, but this is just how I do it. Pretty much, you need a timer that triggers for everyone. So we're going to set a duration to whatever you want, have it count down. You can put a timer name or have it invisible. I feel like showing it helps let the player know what's going on pretty much. Can interact on no, that way they can't like trigger it manually. Activating team is anyone and applies to everyone. Success on timer end is checked. And timer running text is what I meant to say. I put boss fight starting in 30 seconds, pretty much. And you can also change the color of it, and show on HUD is on. But pretty much, we're going to do start for all on the volume enter. And then on success is when we compare each of these player counters. So when this is triggered, it's going to compare the value here. So we have a 4, 3, 2, and 1. And this is going to count the number of players that is in this volume when this is at 0. So pretty much if there is four players and this is equal to, these are all set to equal to. Basically, if there's 4 players, we are going to spawn in both of these guys, and this I did it in tiers, so like this dude is way stronger than the rest of them, and then this guy is the same for the trio and squad counter. But pretty much on count succeed, when these pass, they are going to spawn in these guys, and I basically did it in like a difficulty range. So 4 is the highest difficulty, 3 is the like almost highest difficulty, 2 is just a boss with actually a beefier boss than the solo boss. So it gives more HP, more HP, more HP, and more HP depending on how much players we got. And you can set up these guards however, but basically they're all set up the same. They just have more HP and the same weapon. So whatever weapon they're using, you put it in. You can keep it as the default people here, but I use a custom cosmetic to better fit my game and have more of a custom moving entity that you're able to eliminate. So pretty much you want to make sure that each of these are set on the same team, but not your team. You want to put them on a separate team, that way they're an enemy. Uh, Turn the spawn timer off or they're going to automatically spawn in. Use device spawn location, you can do that, or you can have them on a patrol route. I use device location. I also use device spawn rotation, meaning they're going to face you when they spawn in. Invulnerable is turned off. You can turn it on if you want that, but I keep it off. Starting HP is whatever you desire. Show health bar I do turn on, that way you can see kind of like in Battle Royale, how they're getting eliminated. Um, Visibility range is 40 meters, so if you're within 40 meters of this guy, he is going to aggro. It's a little excessive, but I want to make sure that it's triggered instantly as soon as he spawns in and they're coming after you. Um, Accuracy you can increase and give them like aimbot, or you can turn it on low. I feel like low, depending on the weapon, makes it still hard to kill, you know? Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like they spawn in off the counter, they despawn off of this counter, so pretty much this spawns them in. This is the countdown. This is checked when the countdown hits 0. Uh, we have these other two counters, and these are basically variables, meaning uh, during the fight, this is what it's checking for. So we have a player count equal to, or should be equal to actually. So this one does need to be equal to, it is, so equal to 0. So if they're in this zone and this hits 0, it'll despawn these guys. So if you are eliminated and you're kicked out of this square, these guys die. And then the whole room resets, basically, and you can try again. 4, this counts up to 4, so equal or fewer. And this is basically whoever eliminates these guys, because it's listening for both. Uh, you can have one or two. I set them up on a trigger. Basically, both of these guys be eliminated. This triggers. And this is what this one's counting for. So when one of these guys get eliminated, if you're doing a solo or if you're doing more than 3, if you kill both of them, this is triggered. On trigger, this basically activates this timer for everybody that is counted. So it applies to the player and it is triggered by this. And basically on success, we are going to enable everything, teleport them out, of course. So you are going to need a teleporter set up somewhere. And I have it set up already in the spawn zone. You can do it however you want, but this is just an example. So pretty much on this device is triggered, the timer. When it is triggered, we are going to teleport them out. I also have a teleport input, so it enables everything pretty much when you finish the boss fight. It's going to re-enable the message HUD, so you're able to teleport again because I disabled the teleport on enter. Uh, it'll unregister all the counters, so you're not counted anymore, and it's basically teleporting you out and giving you the reward. I also have a 2-minute cooldown that allows them to come back in basically on when it goes off, it'll re-ignore them so they're able to walk back through the door. This is set up to where I believe more than one group can run it back to back, but the group that completes it is locked out. That is how I set it up, and that is how it works so far. To my knowledge, this entire setup is set up correctly. These are just, they were kind of a test, so they're not important. Um, but pretty much, you will need a barrier device to lock them in the room. You will need a volume device to count whoever is in the volume. You will need player counters, that way each player is counted and triggered individually. Um, you will need a few timer devices, 2 at the least, um, and then 2 other player counters for the variables, checking whether or not the enemy is defeated or you are defeated. And then this one counts and gives you the reward trigger. It's really simple. It took me probably a week to set this up on my own. I mean, I used other people's videos as reference, and then I tried to adapt it my way. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of simple, really easy. Pretty much they go through the barrier, go into this, they all spawn in. If you die or win, these go off, you get the loot, bada bing, bada boom. Real simple. Uh, Hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna try and release more tutorials like this, kind of hands-on, so y'all can see how I set it up. And then this will kind of give you guys an idea on how you can set up something in y'all's game. So, thank you for watching. Y'all stay tuned. Peace.